A well-made fruitcake, really, really good.
Question of the week.
And the question of the week this week is, what holiday treats hit differently now that you've grown up?
Holiday treats that hit differently. I'll tell you two that hit differently for me. Fruitcake.
Oh, see, I've never been a fan of fruitcake. Do you like fruitcake?
A well-made fruitcake, really, really good.
Okay.
You can still get bad fruitcake, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, maybe I just haven't had a good one.
Yeah, but it's quite possible. Like, I don't like the fruit cakes that have like the neon green and red candies in them, like things. But you can get with real good dried fruit in there, and it's not just a doorstop with some fruit and nuts in it. It's actual, like, it's dense, but it's good. That's one I definitely didn't appreciate when I was a kid. The other one is eggnog. I didn't love eggnog, but I had, again, some really good homemade eggnog. And I was like, oh, this is what this is supposed to be like. Okay. And now, like, even the store-bought cartons aren't bad. And I don't mind it this time of year. But that was one, as a kid, I wanted nothing to do with that.
Yeah, and see, eggnog is one of those things that either you love it or you hate it. There's very few people that I've talked to that are just like, it's okay. It's just one of those things that, my wife is not a huge fan of how thick most eggnog is, and so she'll actually put milk in hers to thin it out a bit, which I think is fairly common with people who have that same issue, because it can be pretty thick, pretty dense. But I like me some eggnog. It is some good stuff. For me, it's got to be, what hits differently is the store-bought versus homemade cookies. Growing up, like, I would just chow down on all of those processed cookies. And like, especially if you go to like a holiday party or whatever, and there's the store-bought stuff, and then there's the homemade stuff. As a kid, I always gravitated towards the store-bought stuff. As an adult, it's like, no, I'm going for that homemade stuff.
All day. I mean, so some of that you want to think is like palate refining as you get older, and as a kid, you just want, like, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just got to be sweet, and those store-bought ones tend to be a lot sweeter.
Yeah.
And it's a familiar taste. But yeah, although I will say the Danish butter cookies, the sewing kit that comes with cookies inside of it, those are great. And I was actually in Costco this past weekend, and I walked by, they were selling 4 packs of those. And I was like, I cannot buy that because I will just eat all of the cookies in like a week. I can't, that's dangerous. But
my wife put in the chat, it helps that your wife is an awesome baker. Lol.
That doesn't hurt.
It is true. Every year my wife makes usually about 5 to 6 different types of cookies, and she'll make enough that I can share it with like my coworkers and stuff. So I'll make goodie basket. Well, I make the goodie boxes, more like I deliver the ones that she has painstakingly made. And so, yeah, we'll give it out to friends and coworkers and people at church and stuff. We'll give a whole bunch, but I always make it very clear that all I do is keep the kids away from her while she does her thing.
That can be important, though. I just thought of another one, and this one is less. It hits different now. And it's not a traditional, like, everybody has this holiday treat, but it was for my family growing up, and it's peanut brittle.
Oh yeah.
And it hits differently for me now because it was never my favorite thing, and I never loved it growing up, and I still don't. Like, I'm not going to seek out peanut brittle, but why it hits different for me is that was the thing my grandmother made every year.
Oh, okay.
And she would make that, and it was my dad would always get some, and that was his favorite thing. And ever since my grandma has passed, it just hits different now when I see peanut brittle, especially homemade peanut brittle.
Yeah. See, when I think peanut brittle, I actually think of NASCAR races
Oh,
because so my dad had a race car for a long time when we were living in Washington State, and I've mentioned this a few times on the show. Charles calls my dad Papa NASCAR because of it. But at the track there, they sold peanut brittle that they
okay.
made. They made their homemade peanut brittle, and we'd get it not every single time, but a lot of times we would get a little bit of peanut brittle while watching the races. And so my my food memory when it comes to peanut brittle is spending time with my family watching the races and rooting for our race car.
Nice.
So
That's cool.
yeah,
I love associations like that. Those things that take you back to a specific time or place.
yeah, yeah. Well, and I find that happens to me a lot with music as well.
Mhm.
That'll
Oh, yeah.
that'll just transport me back to different moments in my life where that particular music I either listened to a bunch because it was on the radio or just because I listened to it a bunch.
Yep.
Like for instance, and this is going off on a bit of a tangent, but for instance, when I was first reading the Harry Potter series,
Mhm.
my mom had Enya on repeat, and so whenever I hear Enya, it always makes me think of Harry Potter
There you go.
because of that association.
See, that's a good one.
So
One that always comes to mind for me is there's a specific song from 311 called You Wouldn't Believe. And that exact song takes me back to the summer of, I want to say it was either '02 or '03, and specifically hanging out with some friends of mine where we would drive out to a beach and spend the day out there, like grilling and practicing martial arts on the beach and swimming and all of this kind of stuff. And that, like, I can picture where we parked the cars, where the path we walked down to the beach, and it was this little like beach that nobody went to, kind of thing. But the second I hear that song, the opening guitar lick, and it takes me right there.